to Australia, and good morning to my wonderful friends in, just putting the cursor on the right screen here, in Europe, wherever you are. Interesting today because I filled out the the day one, as it was meant to be yesterday. So today, the way that it's supposed to work is you're doing your practice, then you come and check in, and you do, can I tick a box? Can I tick a box? So two things. Firstly, I've just had some food. So taking a big breath after eating is often, we'll see. All I know is that once upon a time, I did a Latin gig. It started about 10 o'clock at night, finished about 4. It's insane. But I had a big bowl of pasta. That was the worst thing you can do if you're going to play a wind instrument. Well, it was the worst thing I can do. Because let me tell you, it sat like a brick. I remember it now, and that was 15 years ago, more. Generally don't eat before. I don't eat before playing. I'd have a little bit. Anyway, just a thought. Now, I need to show you something. Dropbox. I need you. The easiest way to get the videos to me is to upload them to Dropbox. It's free to sign in, and you can, if I open here, I think it should work. I haven't logged in for a while, but I'll set up a WindWorks International Harmonic Slur Challenge folder and give you the link, and you can send them across. Here we go. So there's all these different files. Rod, Spensorium. I've got a piece coming from trombones to trumpets, piccolos, cornets, C trumpet, B flat trumpet. It's been written. I'm going to record it anyway. So you've got all these different folders there. So I'll set one up and I'll send you the link, and you can just basically just email. You upload your file and email info@mysterytomastery.com. Invite me to see the file. I can download it. Bingo. Because I'm getting them in all different sorts of ways, which is totally fine. But I just had Keith go, I've never used Dropbox. It's all new to me. So all you got to do is go to dropbox.com, set up a free account, and it'll just say upload. You can set up a folder. It's really easy. And upload your video, and it'll say share, send me a link, and I can open it. So I'm going to get straight into it today. I actually was on with Greg Quigley again, trombone player. We did this morning, which was unexpected, but he drove again from Brisbane, which was awesome. So if you're interested in basically seeing a lesson real time and incorporating the WindWorks challenge, but also just looking at all the fundamentals of everything that I rave about. And it's funny, I shared a couple of things on Trumpet Herald overnight, just 4 different videos, just different things that I'm doing. One, to let them know about this. I should have done it earlier. One, the 60-second virtuoso. You might have seen the little 60-second clips that I'm doing, and a couple of the trumpet chats. And the response from someone who's really into the course has sort of gone, it's a shame that some people either disagree with a couple of things or everything that I say. And is it because I'm trying to make a living from it, as we all are, or because I don't pay credence, which I do, to books of the past? Anyway, it was just interesting to read this reply and then try and get the essence of what I'm doing across the people, because all I want to do is help you become a better musician. And of course, as we know, there's a lot of ego and a lot of set ideas out there, and I just get you to ask. Everything that I shared was free. I want to help. Of course, there's a paid part if you're interested in really getting stuck into it, but all of this stuff that we're doing here, I don't think there's many concepts in the first week throughout the filling out of the charts that I haven't shared with you. So the essence is honest, sincere, I'm improving my playing from doing it, and I hope you are too. So without further ado, I will move down to the chart. And have you filled your chart out yet? Are we on second week? Now, if you didn't see yesterday, basically, and it doesn't take long, and I'm rambling in between each take. Oh, and by the way, 144 is now there, and it is on your first week chart as well, so you might want to go back and actually, no, don't touch your first week chart. Also, I've done a chart. What we're going to do is I'm going to get everyone, I haven't put it up yet. Excuse me. We're going to print it out. We're going to use these digital charts, definitely. But at the end of the week, we're going to sit down with the digital chart and just get a paper one, tick, 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 take 5 minutes, and then put it in an envelope and hide it. Because it's too easy to just go back and look at the week before and check out your chart. I really honestly want you to forget by the end of 5 weeks what you were capable of doing in the first week. So that's important. So here we go. If you're sitting there, you've watched a few, what's the first thing we do? What's the first thing we do? If you're not sure, first thing we do. Great way to remember it. The first thing we do. Is it familiar or foreign? If any of you are here for more than the first day, it is familiar. All right. Is it familiar when you're playing, or does it close up? The concert hall shuts the doors. If it does, that's okay. Good to recognize. Go again. Slow, soft breath, eyes closed. Okay, and I've got to say, as I'm going through this based on the Trumpet Herald chat, I'm just thinking of everything going, okay, what in this process could be threatening, could be challenging? So let me know. Write a comment. Yeah, I don't know why you're doing that. I don't know why you're humming. I don't know why the owl's working. Anything, just ask. I'll explain it in more detail. So the second one, we've opened up the concert hall. And because we're going for a longer duration tonight, and because I've had some dinner, I'm going to have to really work to get more air in, to get past. I think I've only got to 50 seconds. I was peaking out at, so I've got 3 at 50, 2 at 45, and haven't got 55 or 60. So I'm really going to need to lift my game. So some good breathing exercises to start off with. And there's proof right there. It was a good 500, what was it, cubic millimeters or milliliters? Don't know. So if you're doing it without a spirometer or without a breathing bag, but have a break. I don't want you hyperventilating and falling over and suing me. We're getting the air in the lungs. You might see it every day. You might totally get it, or maybe just seeing it once more might make it click. Here is your lungs. Here's the slingshot. We've taken the breath in. You've pushed the rock up the hill. Now all we need to do is release. The rock will fall. Passive humming. So what are we doing? We're finding the airflow that made that sound with the voice. And of course, the more relaxed the body is, the more resonant the sound. Then we're going to use that air in the process of playing. The owl is about discovering, eyes closed, the aperture corners. The aperture corners are the freedom of airflow. We're humming. I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. I don't know whether any of you guys have done Bikram yoga. You can do a Bikram yoga class anywhere in the world, and they generally say exactly the same. It's 26 postures, something like that. And they say the same script. And I can guarantee I was doing it after about 2 years, and I've been doing it on and off for years and years. But when I moved up here, I'd been back into it for a while, and I was in a particular posture, and the instructor said something that I'd heard a million times, and I heard it for the first time. I hadn't heard it before. I had, but I hadn't really heard it. And I recognized something about my technique and went like, duh. I mean, I couldn't do that because I doubled over and whatever. But thinking, isn't it amazing? You can hear something and you think you're doing it and you're not. And all of a sudden the words meant something in a different way, and I slightly altered the technique and it was effective. And that's all we're doing here. I'll keep saying it, and eventually you might recognize something or think about it in a way that is different to what you were previously thinking about. No squeeze of the balloon, it's passive. I need to find where passive turns to active. Remember, we're building the most efficient machine we can. And then when we start to engage the body, of course, which we have to, does it create negative tension in the body? There are two options. Throw it all out the window and just use whatever muscles you need to get the job done. And that's okay for some if that's what you want to do. So answer me this. Why is it that 90% of my students are people that are full-time players? I'll just leave that lingering. Effortless sound, and I don't know whether you can pick up, it's compressed and everything over Skype, Facebook, but there's a lot of sound coming out and it's for free. The discovering of the aperture corners is to eliminate the pinch down of the lips. If the psychology remains, tighten the lips and blow harder, you can do that. It's harder work and generally doesn't sound as good. There's more muscle sound, more lip sound. Plenty of people make great careers doing that. And if it's working for you, you probably won't be here anyway. But if you can recognize that the main trigger for selecting the overtone on the pipe is driven from the aperture corners, not the corners of the mouth. The corners of the aperture. And if I whack the visualizer over the top, the corners of the aperture. Everything's in reverse here. If we learn to tweak the corners of the aperture without gripping down in the middle of the lip, you're going to keep the sympathetic oscillation happening, the response and the looseness in the middle of the lip, and trigger the overtone. I will breathe out. Body's fully engaged. So using the mouth compression that I explained yesterday, water in the mouth, squirt it out into a bucket. Changing here. Of course, there are other things changing, but the big problem is overblowing from the body. So let's eliminate it and recognize that pitch can come from the mouth. Well, it does come from the mouth. You can use air to blow faster, which is going to put the chops under all this pressure, and the psychology will be, because I'm blowing faster, that the note's going higher. It's just not. It's just not. It's just not. And I will explain it over and over and demonstrate it over and over and over again. I don't care how many times. It's very important. So once we've got the realization, the awareness, recognition of the aperture corners, and a lot of people come unstuck here as well. Oh, simply a movement of the tongue. Not squeezing the balloon, no abdominal contraction, no pushing of the air. The balloon is here, tongue. When we put the rim on, and people instantly start thinking about what notes can I play like that. It's not about what notes you can play like it. It's about recognizing the feeling, the awareness of the aperture corners, and when we add mouthpiece and lead pipe, don't try and play a pitch. Can we get the lip to respond? If that happens, do it 10,000 times, because and people will get frustrated. And I'm saying don't get frustrated. Recognize the sensation of it, freedom of airflow, the difference between and once you've experienced the sympathetic oscillation, you'll never turn back. All right. Then, because it's an indeterminable pitch down there, don't try and play a pitch on the instrument. Put the valves halfway down. And eventually we find the low C. That's the process of turning the vocal cords, the humming, the passive reduction of the breathing system into plane. And if you do it many times with your eyes closed, I know you know what I'm going to do. I know. Eyes closed, learning what the body's doing, opening up the breathing column, relaxing, letting it happen. Then finding the pitch, and then finding the low C. And here's the demonstration. I don't want any push, I don't want any pitch. Simple as that. Then we can change things, gear, and little bits in the mouth to change the tone that we're after, but we just want to keep it free. So I'm going to start at 144, since I've got no idea how this is going to go. And we're E to A this week, D to G on the trombone. So we tick it. So you can hear there was a slight waver. And what we're looking for is where time limit and speed limit meet. Because obviously back here, with the exception of, getting longer. So they're speed limit restricted, time limit restricted there. So clearly 40 seconds and 45 seconds is cool for me. But longer than that isn't. So that's my area of working. Then up here at the fastest speed, obviously it's not got anything to do with breath control. It's just refinement of the aperture corners. And of course, what we need to develop efficiency and flexibility all over the horn, is a relaxed airstream and an awareness of what's happening in the face. So that's what we're working on. I think starting on the the wrong notes, probably a good time to stop. Like, it was okay for 15 seconds, but you could feel it just pull back a little bit. Now, sure, I managed to speed it up and landed on time, but it was out of control. That last 5 seconds was just a little bit out of control, which says that it's still an uncertain phenomenon at this speed. All right, the musculature is going, what's going on? I don't know how to keep going. So that's what we're looking for here. And I'm going to give it one more crack, but I've got a feeling that I might have hit my duration limit at the 10 seconds. We'll see. Again, it wavered a little bit, but it's just that last 5 seconds starts to feel weird. But no, I'll stick to my principles. I'm not happy with it. Plenty of people would tick it, but I'm just not going to. So if I can't get 144 at 15 seconds, what's stopping me from getting 144 15 seconds at 152? Nothing. Here we go. See what happens. Well, it was better than the other one, so I'm actually going to tick that one. That was good. Who'd have thunk? All right, now let's go back to 138, and I'm looking for 25 seconds. You can incorporate this for as long or as little as you want in your practice routine. You don't have to sit there and do the entire chart every day, as I'm demonstrating. You might only choose to do, right, can I do one speed box and one duration box? It's up to you. If you were to do every tempo every day, you will develop more quickly. If you were to do every tempo 10 times a day, you're not going to develop 10 times as fast. But really focused approach to this magnifying glass process, you will develop more quickly. It's very important. There are people out there that play professionally that cannot do harmonic slurs because the psychology is wrong. Get these better, your playing will unlock. It's really simple. So 138. I'm after 25 seconds. That might actually be testing the breath capacity now, but we'll see. yeah, I just sort of lost concentration halfway through. So it felt like it was okay, but it's not tickable. I'll try again. I ran out of air. Crazy. All right, I'll move on. We'll leave it for tomorrow, maybe. 160. Oh, actually, I didn't try to get 20 seconds at 152. I need to do that. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just the way that it works. I couldn't get 15 seconds at a slower tempo, and I've got 10 seconds faster at a faster tempo. Go figure. Anyway, I'll look at that again tomorrow. 160. Because we're getting faster now, I'm going to break it back to 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, just to prepare for it. Oh, so that was 10. Cool. So there was just one little glitch halfway through, but I reckon that deserves a tick. It was almost there. I actually took a terrible breath. Look, there are a couple of waivers there. I won't tick it. I possibly could, but I won't. Back to 132. Cool. So that was down to 35. So I've ticked a heap of boxes today already. You could choose to just move on. Done for the day. Come back. It's not hard to do. But you are, although I haven't checked my speed limit yet, but you've checked, you've beaten a limit on something that you did yesterday. And if we can do something better today than what we did yesterday, awesome. And even if we can't, we're repeating the process of doing it over and over and over. And over time, you can't do 10 seconds, but then you can do 15, then you can do 20, and it just happens like that. It's really cool. It's kind of weird. As you saw before, 168. Yep. Just check across, make sure. I think I'm on the wrong page here. Yeah, I am. Yep. That's not promising. Are we actually streaming? Okay. Don't know how long it's been doing that for. Oh, it feels like it's dropping in and out. That's very strange. Why is that happening? Anyway, tech issues. Nothing I can do about it. 168. Metronome that stops. Nailing it today. So I just kept going there because I felt like I was on a roll. So 168. So I did 10 seconds. I did 15 seconds. I couldn't do that yesterday. Crazy. See if we can get 20. Yeah, I think it was okay. Go for 25. Nope. So now I'll go to a slow. Oh, well, it's slower, but then it's once you start doing a lot of the fast ones, your muscles can start and get a little bit confused. So that's okay. Now, did I do 138? I did. And I did 132. Let's go back to 126. I don't know why I stopped. I should have kept going. I had a bit more left in me. Crazy. 45. Not even close. Then we go across faster one. 176. Send me your charts from week 1. Fill them out. These are the really cool tempos to be working on, because you can do 5 seconds quite comfortably, or that time it wavered. So what happens between 5 seconds and 10 seconds? Logic says you can do 5, you can do 10. Just behind each single time, and I couldn't quite catch it up. One more time. I actually think I got there. I ended up not watching the clock. But, yeah, I won't tick it. Won't tick it. I like to be completely in control, convinced that I've got it. So 126. We're after 40 seconds. Oh, and I did that, but I couldn't get 45. I think I did that. I keep forgetting. I'll try again. So 126. Oh, no, I did. I did try and get that one. Okay. So 126, 120. Ouch. Need to get to 55. No chance. Just a reminder. Are we staying cool? So I'm looking for 55. Yeah, now I think I started on the 55, so I didn't quite get 55 seconds. I thought I was there, and then I just ran out of gas right at the end. But the important thing is to remember, even when we're that far out, is that even though we're fully engaged, squeezing the last bit of the air out of the lungs, does the concert hall close up? Or is it just a passageway and there's just no more air there? No more air there. Well, there's no more reduction to squeeze it out. Anyway, 192. You don't need to tick every box, but the process of doing what I'm doing here is reinforcing the efficient habits. And over time, when we least expect it, the subconscious will be controlling the motor skills, not the conscious. I'm still quite consciously aware through this to figure out when it's in control, and you can hear it really click when it's in control, and then there's other times where it's all over the place. I don't want to be thinking about any of that, just sitting there and just letting it fall out. Ideally, 208 for a minute in one breath. Maybe in 3 years' time, if I stick with it, I'll have it. Same as the tonguing. The tonguing challenge is coming next. So anyway, it just develops over time. It's a shame it jumped at the start, because once I got going, it was actually would have been the 5 seconds ticked. You only have to watch back to the videos from the first week to see how much that's developed already. Crazy. You can hear it pulling back. It's fantastic. Rightio, moving right along. And again, what are we working on? And that's with my bucket. I don't play up in that range with this, but it just keeps getting easier when you use, when you're refining what's going on. 116. So I've got to go for 55. Happy joy. It's just annoying when you are seeing you're within 10 seconds to go and there's just nothing left. Anyway, don't have dinner before you do this. 200. So that's not 200. Who would have thought 5 seconds of doing this is so tricky? I love not being able to do something. Makes you look forward to coming back the next day and trying again. Challenge. All right, back to 112. I thought I was going to run out at 30 there. It's all over the place, folks. It's cool. Rightio. 208. preparatory exercise. In fact, I spoke about this with Greg this morning on the trombone. We're going wah 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 wah. The wah down. Wah is loosening the corners. The wah firming the corners. Wah 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 wah. Because I sometimes demonstrate going with the tongue. It's not the tongue. The corners touch the mouthpiece and stimulate the change. And so if we can subdivide it and go, just think of the wah 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 wah. Excuse me. Wah 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 wah. No voice, of course. Wah wah wah. Wah wah wah. Wah 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 wah. Ooh, that was as close as I've ever been. Can't quite kick it. There might have been that one early on that was close to 8 beats. But yeah, no. So 208 is still the evasive. So I'm not even going to bother with my my long ones today. You don't have to do every single exercise. You want to come back and just tick a few boxes. If you're up for the challenge and you want to really go nuts, do all of them. Now you'll notice that I haven't done the whole chart. There's no need me spending time on that because I know that I'm comfortable with the technique and it's purely a matter of breath control. So then it's just down here. There's my spot that I need to be working on breath-wise. And then, of course, tempo-wise. And isn't it interesting, just the angle of the graph? Just how it... And there's an obvious anomaly there, which is just here at 144. So let's have a look at that. All right, so we've got to find 15 and really 20 as well. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, I am done for the day because I did an hour this morning on the trombone, but it's a lesson. You'll enjoy it. And long day, and anyone who saw my Facebook post knows that I went out last night and played with a band and had a delicious beer and even a glass of red wine. Yeah. Anyway, say no more. So I'm cooked. I'm cooked today. And you're not going to be in fine form every day. I'm back at 10 o'clock in the morning, Australian time. So that'll be evening in the US and stupid o'clock in the Europe, UK region, the Eurozone. I don't think, unless there's any questions, and I'm curious as to what was happening on the face, why that's black, but you're obviously still watching, but why is that black? I have no idea. Anyway, there's no questions, and if there is, I can't find it. Let me just go across here and have a look, see, because I'd hate if there is a question and I didn't answer it. That would be all kinds of bad. If it's going to take too long to... No. Good. Okay, my wonderful friends, practice hard. You will get results. You just will. Thought for the day. Be open-minded. Be prepared to experiment and try all sorts of things. There's a million approaches out there. Find what works for you. This might not work for you. If you watch the lesson from this morning, in the process of trying to go for longer, Greg's body just locked up. That's what we're trying to eliminate. So you've got to just be really aware. And please watch Windworks and Alexander Technique. And even read the post here from pro players having issues. It's really cool. So, well, I can see from there that that's streaming, so I don't know what's going on with that other page. That's crazy. Anyway, so if there's no questions, thank you for being part of it. And if you haven't sent your videos across yet, it's not too late. You can send one in on week 4 and then one on week 5, but there will just be a smaller bit of improvement to see, where if you've filled out your chart, I'll put this chart up tonight or tomorrow morning for you to print out, tick, 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 put in an envelope at the end of the week. And then even send the PDF, send me a copy. Dropbox your videos, and I'll be able to see where you started from, where you ended up. 12-month ultimate membership. It's over $1,000 Australian to have it for the whole year. So I'm looking forward to seeing who really just gets it and just unlocks stuff that they've never been able to do. It will happen. I've seen it with my own students. I had a grade 5. So what's grade 5? 10 maybe. And all of this stuff, and the straw. I use the boba straw. If you've got students, use a boba straw for the sympathetic oscillation. And we went through, I spoke balloon, just getting at a hum with her eyes closed, just setting the psychology from day zip. And the first note that she played, she had this freaking amazing setup and goes, no, that wasn't it. It was this. It was the first sound that she made from a middle C to the G, and it had this, and it was like her face went, and her mum laughed, and I've just gone, I wish that was filmed. I just wish people could see it. Anyway, keep fighting the good fight. Love you all. Have a lovely night or a great day, and see you tomorrow.